So we've already discussed whether Newcastle United down doesn't look good for Sunderland as well. The top four, Man City, seem to have picked themselves back up again. So the big question is, are there any shocks left in this season? Anyone want to throw out something they think that's shocking that might happen between now and the conclusion of this?
Everton will win a football match.
Everton, top half.
And Robert Martin, that should be his name.
Roberto
Martinez doesn't work, he's from Wigan nearly. He'll actually come out and say, we were crap.
That would be shocking.
We were crap.
But I mean, things that might, I say shocks, but still within the realms of possibility.
Yeah. Well, I think Everton might win a few games.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Fair play.
No.
West Ham top four?
I think United top four before West Ham, to be honest.
Seriously?
Yeah. Our run
Do you think it'll hinge on how the FA Cup replay goes?
Don't know. I don't think it'll be hard. I said before that I think we'll get beat, but Baz reckons we'll go down there and win. I don't know. I don't want to say we'll go to West Ham and win, and then this is another case of us winning the FA Cup and then they don't sack the manager. Maybe it's just me wanting.
I think the thing with that game is West Ham will rightly be favourites because they've been brilliant this season, so they will. I think they'll be favourites for it. It's just the kind of game you can see United winning. They just pull a goal off them. In terms of top four, I think City will finish there because I always felt at some stage they'd put 3 or 4 wins together.
But who did they beat? They beat, what, was it Villa the weekend? They beat 4-0?
Bournemouth
4-0.
Yeah, Bournemouth have been on a decent...
Come on, it's still City.
It's not like Bournemouth have beaten any Manchester club at home this season.
I know, but you know what I'm saying, though? Do you know what I mean? It's not... You know what I mean? They scored 4 goals in one game and automatically you think that's it, they're going to play
I just feel that squad is capable of winning 4 or 5 games. Watch United against Everton yesterday. United looked average. They won a game, but they looked average. I just think they're a little bit behind City. That's all. United may well do it, but I just...
Yeah. Maybe I'm just blinkered by...
That could be the shot that United get into the top 4 because they look like they've been kind of out of it, but they're getting results.
Still there.
Yeah. They're getting results and... They've still got guys like Rooney to come back before the end of the season. They could get across the line. But then, as you said, with City, now De Bruyne's back as well.
These are big players.
I agree, definitely.
Who's going to get... West Ham, I think, have struggled to get in that top 4 now.
What surprised me yesterday was United's defensive home record. There's 7 goals.
Yeah, conceded all year. But they haven't scored any, though.
No, but that's incredible to only concede 7 goals. Everton's like 97 or something.
Yeah, but we'll put it like this. We were talking earlier on about Norwich, but they beat us 1-0 at home. We didn't have a shot on goal the whole game. Yeah.
Could the surprise be...
Go on.
That Leicester lose 2 games in a row, get really jittery, Arsenal come up on the rails. They come up on the rails.
Robbie, come on.
Come up on the rails.
Spurs continue.
That could be the shot, that Arsenal actually finish above Spurs, right? Because you know what,
it's sad that should be a shock.
If you see how the season's been, in recent weeks, the way people have been talking, Spurs are way ahead of Arsenal, but. Yeah. I think we could actually catch them because, if after the weekend's results, if Arsenal was to win their game in hand, they're only a point behind. It all hinges on, we've got a game against West Ham. Arsenal win that game against West Ham. And say
not just as simple as winning the game against West Ham.
No, because after that, then the only really tough game we've got after that, I'd say, is City away.
Listen, you've got an Arsenal channel for this. Would we consider it now to be a shock if Leicester don't win it?
Yes, that would be a massive shock.
Which is incredible, isn't it? There's still 8 games or something.
If Leicester don't win it, they'd have to fall apart to not win that now.
I think it would be a different question if Liverpool had to get lost to Tottenham at the weekend, because they'd still be within touching distance. Yeah. And it wouldn't have been such a shock, but considering 7 points is a lot.
I think, it kind of feels like Leicester are going to win the league. It feels like the top 4, but again, I look at the top 4. West Ham are only 3 points behind Man City. Man City still got the Champions League to play, and I think the next round of the Champions League and the FA Cup replay and semis could determine a lot of what goes on there. PSG? This is my point, though, isn't it? But the thing is, they will be focusing on that. And this is the mentality thing, is that everyone's gearing up towards those games because ultimately those are massive individual games, aren't they? And I look at the players. I think West Ham it could be a sliding doors thing, goes one way or the other. West Ham gets the semis and all of a sudden all their players go Wembley, and that's what we're looking at. Or do they get there and they go, well, you know what, we're using this as the impetus to drive us on? Because again, you've seen, go back to like 2001 with Liverpool, getting good, doing well in the cups, drove us on. I think we got our first Champions League. We qualified for the Champions League as well as winning domestic cups. I think it could be like that. But I feel like Man City, because they've been badly inconsistent all season. They're not going to go unbeaten between now and the end of the season. So 3 points is not an impossible
I
gap
think if
for someone
West
like
Ham would
West
have
Ham.
beat Palace at the weekend, I think their emphasis would have still been there. I think when you drop points at home, it's frustrating in that, the game, and they were ahead as well. You're thinking, I just think City for me.
You've just mentioned them there though. Palace relegation.
Do you know, I was thinking about that the other day. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, but I think we spoke about this before. I think it's Norwich, Newcastle and Sunderland for me. It would be a massive shock if Palace ended up there.
I think they got a big point, like you just said, at West Ham there at the weekend, and that's sometimes all you need, isn't it?
Again, though, I mean, at the minute, there's 7 points ahead of Sunderland, which seems a lot, but again, they're only, 3 ahead of Norwich. Norwich have got them coming up as well. Norwich beat them. All of a sudden,
beat them.
You're there, you're on the line.
And
then your head goes then, doesn't it? And you start thinking,
that could be a shock.
Possibility. And they're in horrific form.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
And they've got a lot of difficult games coming up. I mean, I know they've got to come to the Emirates.
Yeah.
So
there you go, Sky and BT. We've just done your work for you. Plenty more twists and turns left in the Premier League season. Let us know your suggestion for things that could yet happen to suggest that it's not all done and dusted, so we still have a reason to turn up and watch the footy for the rest of the last 6 weeks or whatever in the comments below. Still to come, we're going to be discussing Antonio Conte at Chelsea.